Many moons ago when I was in the south of France, I had the most delicious little entree. It was a tapenade tart with tomato on it. It's very simple to do, and I've sort of given it a bit of a twist and made it into my own version. To start with the tomatoes, I want to take the skins off them. This is purely for presentation. If you don't want to do this step, by all means, take it out. But if you do want to take them off, very simply, get a sharp knife and you want to cut a small incision, just like a cross, into each tomato. Now, the riper the tomatoes, the better for this. I have some boiling water and in go the tomatoes. So we really don't want to cook the tomatoes. Essentially, we're just taking off that skin. So we want to leave it in there for about 4 to 5 seconds, just until you start to see the skin pulling away from the flesh. Turn the heat off, and then straight away, we're going to submerge it in some icy cold water. That'll also stop the cooking process. Okay. Now, just with your hands, just twirl them around and get them really chilled. Now, while they're chilling, we can get on to our tapenade. So into a bowl, I'll add our olives. Use some good quality Kalamata olives. Ideally, pip them yourself because they're going to taste better, but if you can't be bothered, just get them pre-pitted. And then to this, we will add some capers. And you can add some garlic. I'm leaving it out today. I am adding, though, some balsamic glaze. It's just got a slight sweetness to it, so a good drizzle of that balsamic. And I'll add some thyme. Now, if you want to make it really authentic, you could also add some anchovies, but I'm going to keep it 100% vegetarian today. So a few sprigs of fresh thyme. If you can get your hands on lemon thyme, absolutely delicious with this too. Okay, we want to add a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. Use a good quality extra virgin olive oil for this, something that's peppery, that has some guts to it. And I won't be adding any salt whatsoever because the capers and the olives are salty enough. All right, stick blender in and we're going to blend this until it's smooth. This is looking good. See how smooth that is? That's what we're after. Just give that a bit of a tap and we can get on with our tomatoes. So these have chilled down nicely and you just want to use your hands to carefully peel off the skin. So that's why we made that little cross at the base so we can pull off these skins really easily. I just think all these little details when you're making quite a refined tart like this make a difference. And the last little peel, great. And with a sharp knife, cut the tomato into beautiful rounds. Not too thin, so we want them to be about at least 1 to 2 centimetres thick. And of course, this is best done in the warmer months when the tomatoes are at their peak. Okay, quite happy with that. We're going to pop that to the side, just with our cheese and our tapenade, and we can get on with our pastry. So I'm using some butter puff pastry. You want the flakiness of the pastry for this, so ideally butter puff, not short crust. We're going to roll it out, and you want it to be quite cold, so it's easier to manage. And I've got 2 cookie cutters here. So I want to make little tarts. These are about 8 to 10 centimetres. You can do whatever shape you like. I'm going to start at the bottom here. We're going to cut a little circle out. And then we want to make a slight border. So essentially that beautiful puff pastry puffs up and makes a little collar for our tart. So we just want to do a little indent onto this. Just try to get it into the centre. A small little indent. That's looking good. We'll pop this onto our tray and we can start assembling. Start with a spoonful, about a teaspoon's worth of our tapenade. So I'm making little tiny ones here. You can even make this into a large tart if you like. Spread that all the way around to the side. On with some cheese. I'm using some fresh goat's cheese. A little sprinkle. We want 3 pieces and it's almost going to act like the glue for our tomato. We get a slice of tomato, perfect round, And that's what we're after. Now that tomato does need some salt, so a pinch of salt over the top. And I always like to add some more olive oil, a little drizzle, and we're ready to make a few more of these. These then go into the oven. You want a hot oven, around 190 to 200. They're going to cook for about 20 minutes or until that pastry has caramelized and also that tomato is broken down slightly. How gorgeous do these little tartlets look? Perfectly caramelized, the tomatoes broken down, and that cheese underneath it's all gooey. Fantastic. I'm going to serve this on a bed of lettuce leaves. You don't have to do this. In fact, these are so small you could serve them almost as a little aperitif or a little canapé just to pass around. And I've just dressed that with a little bit of a mustard dressing, so mustard, vinegar and some olive oil. I'm going to grab this beautiful one here, pop that on top of the salad. And if you like, you could add some more cheese. I'm just going to add some more of this beautiful fresh thyme. That is a lovely dish, and because I just love the goat's cheese, a little more goat's cheese over the top and some more sprigs of thyme. Just sprinkle that. For me, they are the flavours of the sun with the tomatoes, the olives and the goat's cheese, a true nod to Provence.